Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to do something totally different, a little bit of an exciting because something came in the mail. And you probably have seen one of these before. It's a starter kit for the Raspberry Pi Pico. But what is exciting about this one is this includes the latest and greatest Raspberry Pi Pico. And so in today's video, we're going to set up that latest Raspberry Pi Pico, kind of play around with it a little bit and see what else is in this starter kit. I noticed that there is quite a bit that is not included in my Pico library. So over the next few weeks, we may implement some of those classes in Pico library. And maybe I will talk us through how to build your own classes for some hardware that you may have not seen before, or something that is, of course, not already present in the Pico library. And so you need to build your own classes or use the third-party classes that you have found from somewhere. So so that is the agenda for today. And so it's kind of an unboxing video, although I have opened it and made sure all the parts are there. But we're kind of going to go over an inventory of what is included and see if we can set up this Raspberry Pi Pico and check it out. All right, so I'm going to switch to this other camera so we can kind of play with it. So here is the box that comes with. Let's take a look at what is included. So as I said, I have already opened it up. So it's got a number of cool hardware. So let's take a look at what is included. So here is the 16-key keyboard. That's already supported in the Pico library, which is great. But there are all kinds of other hardware that's in here. Here is a nice full-size, well, is probably considered half-side breadboard. Also comes with this power supply that allows you to power your project using a regular barrel adapter, and it comes with this battery. I do not think two batteries will power the Pico. You need at least three AA batteries to power the Pico. However, I think this battery holder is for things like connecting an creating a power supply for an external motor or something like that. I do not believe this will be enough to power the Pico. And that makes sense because this power supply adapter does not include any pins for connecting a 3-volt power supply. The only option is that barrel adapter input, and I think all the others are output, including there's this USB power supply, which I believe that is just for an output because this is a USB-A going out. So we will see. Also comes with this thing with a barrel adapter in the back, so you can power this thing with a 9-volt battery. Not sure how long that would last if you're running a lot of hardware, but we will see. Okay, among other hardware that is included is this guy, which is an ultrasonic sensor. Again, already supported in the Pico library, so that's good. It includes a motor. Just a bare motor does not include, unfortunately, one of those fancy fan attachments. So that's kind of a bummer, but at least you have a motor to work with. And I believe it does come with a motor driver. I did see that, but we'll find it. So we'll put them together. There's a comes with a little speaker, tiny 2-watt speaker. And of course, our favorite 16:2 display with an I2C backpack. So yeah, you can drive it only with 4 pins, although a little slow. Here's the motor driver. So this is also supported in the Pico library. This would allow you to drive either this motor, 2 of these motors, or you can drive a stepper motor, which is also included. Stepper motors are also supported in the Pico library, so you can, there's actually a jack that goes straight into the motor driver, and you can drive stepper motor with it. So this one says it's a step motor, 5 volt DC. So hopefully you should be able to drive it straight from the power coming in from the barrel jack. Maybe need an external power supply for it, but we will play with it and see if that works. So here are those. Let's see, comes with a single servos, also supported in the PicoLibrary, which is great. Comes with a PIR sensor, nice, supported in the PicoLibrary. It comes with 3 potentiometers. Yeah, they're all 10K potentiometers, so no difference is there. Let's take a look. Joystick, an analog joystick. Again, supported in the PicoLibrary with a built-in switch, so you can use this to build little tiny games. Awesome. As usual, a couple of piezo buzzers. I'm guessing 1 active buzzer and 1 passive buzzer. Comes with a circular light strip. That is nice. Oh, with both an input and output port, so you can chain these up if you wanted to. Pretty cool. These are nice, but kind of useless. Unfortunately, a raw 64 LED matrix display. Obviously, with all of these wires in the back, I don't know if you can see all of these connectors. Putting this in a breadboard is going to be pretty much impossible because you're going to have to put so many wires around. And ideally, you're going to drive these. You won't really be driving these straight from I/O ports. So it does come with several one of these shift registers. So those are also supported in the PicoLibrary, but I typically haven't paid too much attention to them because wiring these either in the simulator or on the in the actual breadboard is a pain. But what is nice is it does come with 3 proto boards. So for those of you here who likes to take on a little bit of challenge, you can actually solder some of these into the proto board and create your own circuits using difficult to use hardware, because what you'll have to do, you're going to have to create lots and lots of connections. So putting them in a proto board and soldering will definitely be a lot of time consuming, but at least something that you can have sort of permanently. And the same with a nice, what is it, an 8 LED or 10 LED light bar, which is pretty cool, but again, they're all parallel connections, so you are going to need a shift register to drive it. You typically will not drive straight from the Pico. You're going to overload for them. Same thing with a kind of a clock display. Unfortunately, not a clock display, does not have the colons, but it's a 4-digit LED, 7-segment LED display. But again, as I said, it is not an I2C. It's got the parallel connection, so you will need a shift register for it. So, okay, here is another cool thing. This is basically an double pole, no, single pole double throw relay. So you can actually hit turn on and off high voltage equipment directly from the Pico. So you can turn on a light bulb or send power to your garage door opener straight from here. I'm fairly sure that this is nicely voltage isolated, although this is a mechanical relay, not a read relay, so or a solid state relay. Do not think in this price point you will get a solid state relay, and I haven't seen such small solid state relays anyway, so I'm pretty much sure this is a mechanical relay, but at least there is a relay included. Let's look at some of the new things. So there's 3 new things that I noticed in this kit that I do not have support for right now in the PicoLibrary. So definitely something I'll be working on. So one of them is an RFID reader. It does not say if it's a low frequency or a high frequency reader. My guess is that it is a high frequency, but we will test it and see. Sometimes it's hard to tell what type of reader it is. RFC RC522. So we should be able to search for it and see what kind of reader it is. It's got two RFID tags. One is a card, one is a little keychain. So that's nice. So we should definitely implement this. Then the other exciting new thing that is not in the Pico library, which I will definitely implement, is an accelerometer and possibly a gyroscope. We will see what chip is included. It does have a chip number, so I will Google it to see what kind of accelerometer it is, but definitely something that would be fun to implement. And then finally, and this was actually something that is kind of interesting to see. It came with a little mini amplifier with an analog speaker port, which means you can play real sounds and real music from the Pico. Obviously, with small amount of storage, you wouldn't be playing like really hi-fi stereo music, but it is a stereo connector. So technically, you should be able to play music. And since it is a Pico 2W, and I will definitely be talking about that. So since it is in a Pico 2W, technically you have direct access to Wi-Fi, so you should be able to stream music through this thing. So that is pretty exciting. Oh, there is a single segment LED display as well. But as I said, again, a parallel one. So connecting with a shift register. So they've got 4 parallel connectors, but they included only 3 shift registers. So yeah, maybe they should have included 4. But here are all the toys that come with this kit. Of course, it comes with a bunch of cables and LEDs. Oh, that's it. This is interesting. So this is also included in a PicoLibrary, but it looks like it's got an IR sensor. So you can use an IR remote, and yes, it does include an IR remote. All right, so you can actually send remote messages, IR messages to your Pico and have it respond. And of course, it has light sensor, an analog light sensor, some transistors, some buttons, some LEDs, and little odds and ends here. Let's see what else is included. Oh, it's got a temperature and humidity sensor. Check this out. So yeah, quite a few nice sensors included. No prox sensor that I could see, but otherwise it's a pretty cool kit with a whole bunch of hardware included. Well, let's take a look at our Pico 2W. But this is the Pico 2W. This is the latest of the Raspberry Pi Pico family, and this it includes the new 2340 chip. And let's see if I can switch to a different camera and then focus better. These webcams are not really designed for the types of things that I'm doing. These are basically for those of you who are using, following this channel, you know that it's essentially to learn how to use object-oriented design with the Raspberry Pi Pico. So very specific type of application that we're talking about. But let's just go straight to Thani and see if we can set this up. In fact, we are going to use a different way of setting it up today than the standard boot cell method, because the latest version of Thani actually includes that, and that makes it a lot simpler. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I've got Thani already running and nothing is connected to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect up this Raspberry Pi Pico. And so you can sort of see what is going on in here. at the same time. All right, so we're going to connect the Raspberry Pi Pico. All right, so it is connected. And the moment it connects, it says cannot connect, whatever. But when I click here now, it says install MicroPython or CircuitPython. So actually, it looks like Thonny supports both MicroPython and CircuitPython. My Pico library only supports MicroPython. At some point, I might create a port for CircuitPython, but that is not currently what I am supporting. So I'm going to click on install MicroPython. So instead of using the going in and actually downloading the UF2, you can actually install directly from Thonny, which is kind of nice. So notice that it already finds out that it is an RP2350. That's the new chip. And MicroPython family will be Raspberry Pi 2, which is fine. The variant is the Pico 2W, because that's what we have here. So that's what we will be um, downloading for. The version is from January 26th and looks like this is a preview version. So probably for a little while, since this is such a new chip, for a little while, we will have to use preview versions of the Raspberry Pi, MicroPython firmware. But let's go ahead and install and see how simple it is to do. So let's just, so Thonny directly goes into raspberrypi.com or downloads the UF2 file, and done. All right. So that's it, as simple as that. So now if I go connect to the MicroPython, look at that, version 1.25.0 preview 229. This is a Raspberry Pi Pico 2W with RP2350. All right, so this is great. So let's just quickly install a couple of things, at least make sure that everything is working. I don't see why it wouldn't, but let's just go ahead and put in a few of the things of PicoLibrary, test it out, and then we can call this a day for this video. Now let's just import the lights. Let's just do the built-in light. All right, so let's upload this to Pico, and we're gonna restart. Let's say from lights, import star. Perfect. So light. And this will be the built-in LED port. Built-in LED. All right, there you go. Light is constructed. So now let's see if I can turn on the built-in LED. And yes, it did turn on. Let's turn it off. And that's it. So that works pretty well. So let's blink it a few times, and is 0.25 seconds, and let's blink it 25 times just for fun of it. Oh, there you go. There's the LED blinking about quarter seconds each for 25 times, and it's going to stop. So that's pretty much it. Pico 2W, the latest Raspberry Pi chip, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to do lots of cool things, including implementing some of the hardware that we unboxed today that is not yet supported in the Pico library. So I will keep you posted, and hopefully you will see some of these new videos pretty soon. That's it for today, and I will see you at the next video.